Action. Cool. Hi guys, I'm Scott Price. Welcome to Price. This is a series of interviews on provocative artists and activists who do provocation. I'm here standing, would you guys believe, okay, just next to the Malt House, just near a taxi, would you believe, this taxi's here. And I'm about to be interviewing Patricia Cornelius, who is a Australian playwright who does provocative titles such as Slut and Shit. And she joins me right now. And I should point out, there's going to be not so much place maybe I think sort of like offensive language, but a few magical words. Patricia Cornelius, thanks for your time.
It's an absolute pleasure.
So tell me about your work, Slut and Shit, because I haven't seen that sort of like provocative work before.
I think, well, I kind of love the titles, even though they're really very provocative. And in fact, a lot of people might think I'm very immature choosing titles like that. And I kind of sometimes think they are a bit immature but at the same time, I think, oh, bugger it, it sort of lets people know what they're in for. And if you want to come to see a play called Shit, you can't be really offended by the content of it. It warns you, and you kind of know that you're going into territory that is provocative and a bit wild around the edges.
Yeah.
Did you like them?
No, I haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it. Okay.
But yeah, like I mean, like why blunt language, right? Is it like a line which I know, which you say, okay, right? Well, I mean, like, but blunt language is probably there, and I don't know. Is it just to like shock people, like the blunt language, or?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I like, you mean swearing?
Yeah, like in your plays, like, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, in your plays, yeah. Is it like really?
Is
I
it to shock?
Yeah, is it like that full on, like?
Yeah. No, it is full on, but I love the vernacular. I love swearing, and I use it a lot myself. So I'm not very precious about it. But I love the power of it. I think that it's a mistake just to be toffee-nosed about it and offended. And I'm thinking, actually, when you hear someone really full power swearing, using cunt and fuck and shit in a really powerful way, it terrifies you. Often you might want to get off the tram if it's happening there, but there is an immense power, and lots of people use it who are powerless. And so I kind of like that stuff dramatically. It interests me to kind of go there. And also, I can't stand people going, excuse your French, and excuse my French, and I hope that I don't offend you, because language is language, and we, as writers and as performers, we want to use it powerfully, and if it means swearing and it fits well, and I cheat it anyway, because I try to use it quite poetically.
Yeah. So is there, I don't know, some sort of like like line, I don't know, in terms like I think in which you would not dare to cross, or I don't know, in terms I think of your work, or?
That's a hard question. I kind of, crossing those lines is very tempting to me, because that's what I think drama is about. I think that theatre and questioning stuff is about crossing those lines. Whether you go too far in it, it's always a kind of test, isn't it? I definitely don't want to use that vernacular or the swearing and have everybody just walk out going, I couldn't stand it. So I kind of try to be seductive with it, if you know what I mean. I try to use it in a way that people can kind of handle it and take it. And also where I want to go in terms of sexual abuse or the misery of poverty. You cross the line all the time, and
because that's the thing, because like in your themes, you have like a lot of what's that word? So like what they call it, like transgender misogyny and other strong themes, like like gay and lesbians. Is that a theme which you usually use in your plays, or like misogyny or trans misogyny?
I kind of never think of it. But it is stuff that comes up, and I suppose whatever is happening, whatever people are talking about, and whatever the world is ready for, I'm interested in exploring it. But I don't kind of do it intentionally. I don't Well, that's not true. When I played called Savages, I wanted to look at misogyny, the level of it, the dearth of it. So I wouldn't say I sort of start from that point necessarily. It kind of something sticks in my craw, and I go, I'm gonna write a play about those three women for shit. Those three women fascinate me at the moment.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff of transgender, that was an accident. Someone told me that was about transgender, and I thought it was about a woman who hated her body. So, but I can see that it's transgender stuff, but I didn't really mean to do it. It's so clever. It just happened.
Are you scared of offending people? Like, are you scared that people are going to come and see your shows and walk out on you, or?
No, I don't care. Goodbye.
So you don't care, like?
No. I mean, it'd be a bit daunting if everybody walked out. That'd be a bit daunting. But I kind of might have a little laugh. I think, oh my God. And then I would probably have to assess whether I've gone too far. Yeah. But it makes me laugh. I kind of like the idea of it. It's not very good probably for box office because they'd be asking for their money back maybe. Yeah.
You seem like a brave person to go into those territories. What sort of I don't know. I mean, is there anything that any future works that you wish to make, or any themes that you want to explore, or?
The most current thing that I want to look at is I would really like to write a play about WikiLeaks and Julian Assange, so I'm interested in how we as a country do not protect our own or honour our own. And we are allowing this very bright young man who's not been charged with the charges that they talk about, and we leave him there to rot. And why? Because he reveals the truth. So stuff like that is what I'm interested in at the moment. Okay. And the way that we don't honour other Australians is just very interesting too.
Okay. Is sexuality sort of a big part in your plays or performances?
Not just in some plays. I wouldn't say in every performance, but definitely I try to write. Even though I wrote a play with just 4 men, I absolutely was looking at gender. And so the absence of the woman felt necessary for that play. But mostly I like to write really strong roles for women. But I actually like to write strong roles for both genders. It kind of doesn't interest me just to be... There's a kind of a lie out there about how women write better for women and men write better for men. And I think this is a nonsense that we can write very powerfully for either gender. Sometimes the sexuality thing's a bit of a bore. I kind of feel like there's other things to discuss, and we get stuck in various explorations sometimes, and people don't seem to move on very easily. I'd hate to be one of them. I might be.
What do you stand for? What do you stand for?
Oh, I feel like I'm going to go into a whole lot of Marxist crap, but I might just do it anyway. I sort of feel the older I've got, I think the bloody inequity shits me to the tears, and I can't stand the stuff with gender and women not being put on, women not being equal in 2016. I hate that shit, but I also hate the class stuff and pretense that we're an egalitarian society when we're the most mean and racist and ugly your country that you can imagine. So all those things, I like them.
Is nothing sacred in your plays?
I think some things are sacred. I think that because I often use real events and as starting points for my plays, or that's why I want to write them, or what's the area around.
So what's the real events? Can you give me a few examples?
The death of Diane Brimble was on a P&O cruise was the starting point for my play Savages, and the sacred thing in it, I thought that she had endured enough, and that I had to really look after her. and to be careful how I represented her or not represented her. And
So what in terms of like not being careful of like?
of kind of using the misery of her death in a way that wasn't respectful, and I felt like she didn't had enough done to her, and so I wanted to really look after it and in a way kind of make the issue bigger, use her death as a kind of starting point to have another discourse. A bit, I suppose, like Batty, what's her name, Rosie Batty did with the death of her son. Yeah. So she's so courageous in wanting to create something bigger out of the death of her son. Yeah. It's sort of fabulous.
So is sort of like domestic, I know, it's like domestic violence like another one of like, another part of your work, or is another one of your themes in your work, or?
Yes, I guess so. Inadvertently, if it came up, because it's so current at the moment, I've been thinking a lot about how you address it. I think what will happen is that there will be lots and lots of different plays and films about domestic violence. Sadly, these things sort of become fashionable in a funny way, and the art picks up on the fashion. And so if I could find a way into it that would be really not predictable or not kind of milking the misery of female existence, I would be interested in doing it. But I don't quite know. I sort of feel like Savages dealt with it in a way, in the misogyny thing.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. What do you get mostly excited? I have to say, I love actors. I love them to pieces. I think I was almost sort of feel like I write only for actors, and so I really love to see you getting excited and also telling me stuff about my work and the way you approach it. What do you love about acting?
The work.
The work. Having the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having the work done and made in that, I don't know, in some sort of like creative manner.
And it's a sort of what's such a gorgeous job, isn't it? I think that also being part of a company is really, really privileged, because so many times as an actor you can work for a little while and then have nothing for such a long time, and all that kind of energy and stuff that you've learnt from a last show doesn't get put anywhere. So is it great to work with back to back?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, same here. Yeah, it's it's pretty good. I mean, I find a lot of things quite challenging, but yeah, I mean, like you get on. I think with with the work, and you just get on. I think what you need to do and what is there for you, and like just have your input.
No, it's great. Theatre's great when it's great. I think that we're good because we're really great.
Yeah.
Us two are great.
Yeah,
do
sure.
Great things.
Yeah.
You know how much shit's out there? It's unbelievable.
Fuck yeah, let's fucking do it. I've just been in a taxi with Patricia Cornelius. I'm Scott Price. This has been Price. Please like and subscribe. And my hashtag is Price Exposed. And I'll see you on another episode. And guess what? I'm Scott Price and you're not.